all it takes really, this has certainly been true in my life, is 1 second of insane courage. Taking 1 second of having insane courage to do something crazy, and your entire life can change. Right? What do I mean by that? There was a point in time where I just enjoyed music on my own. I'd never really been, in musical settings. Like, I took piano lessons as a really young kid, so I should say that. But, in institutions, like being a part of a choir or like being part of a jazz band growing up, or just creating on my own, I didn't really have that outlet. And then when I was in college, I remember I auditioned for a gospel choir solo, and the gospel choir at the school that I was a part of, a lot of kids were taking it just for credit so that they can check off like an arts requirement for the undergraduate degree. But I loved it. I loved it because, our instructor was playing like Stevie Wonder, insane chords, insane melodies, and then fusing that with like songs by Kirk Franklin and just beautiful, soulful gospel ballads. And as a choir, we would sing that. Anyway, so what's my point? My point is that I auditioned for one of the solos my senior year, and I was fucking terrified. I never sang for anybody, and then let alone sang for like in front of a crowd, in front of like an auditorium of people. Dude, I'd never done that before. I'd never fucking done that before. But I was like, at the time, 21, 22, thinking, how do I change my life? Because my life consists of, right now, taking economics classes in school, and I'm planning to work, probably at some bank, and I'm gonna hate it. How do I know I'm gonna hate it? Because I'd interned at banks throughout my summers at college in LA and in New York, and I was thinking about going down a path of investment banking, starting as a junior analyst, doing a bunch of financial modeling. And I remember sitting in my summers in New York, going from meeting to meeting, being like, dude, I fucking hate my life. I fucking hate my life. I had a little notepad that I remember in between meetings, right? I'd show up, man, dude, I would sweat through my fucking suit at 6 o'clock in the morning, getting on the subway at Grand Central Station, taking it to Columbus Circle, 59th Street, and then walking to my fucking office building. And I'm drenched in sweat in July in New York City, being like, this fucking sucks. So, in that notebook, I remember just being 18, 19, 20 years old, just being like, dude, if there's any way I can find a path that is not hating my life going to work, I have to try. Fast forward, I'm presented with this opportunity in my head, looking at a solo for a gospel choir, which is just like, most people are not thinking that. They're thinking about like whatever they're thinking about. But in my head, I'm like, dude, maybe this is a chance for me to like, I love singing. I've always like sang in just alone or, like in my headphones. Maybe this is a chance. Like, I got rejected from every acapella. This is such a lame story, but I got rejected from every acapella group that I auditioned for in college. I just like was ass. I fucking sucked at singing, and for some reason I really wanted to like be a part of that because I thought it was cool. I just thought like how people are able to like manipulate their voice to make it sound like melodic and beautiful, that captivated me. So I'm sitting there senior year, and I'm thinking to myself, dude, I want to try something different. I've been grinding my ass off, studying for exams. I've basically cut drinking out of my life entirely. I'm not socializing with a lot of people. And I'm thinking, well, if I audition for this, it's something different. I'm trying something new, and I'm trying something out of my comfort zone. Back to what we were saying, having 1 second of courage can change your life. I auditioned for it. Maybe the other people that auditioned for that solo fucking sucked, but I ended up getting the solo, right? So in my head I was like, oh fuck, like this is the first like creative achievement I've actually like put myself out there for. Somebody thought I wasn't the worst one, and I got like selected for it. went on to perform it in front of like a auditorium of like 800, 900 people. I don't know if I did well, but the point was I took action on something I was scared about. I tried it. And then all of a sudden in my head, I remember like crying after this performance. Because in my head, I'm like, dude, I just did something that terrified me. I put myself out there and felt vulnerable to go sing in front of 800 people. I've never done that before. I'm scared, but I just did it. And I remember just like having tears in my eyes being like, oh my fucking God, I just did this. What's the point of this story? The point of this story is you can change your life. From that performance, I started looking at creative people around me. Just on the college campus, I stopped like hyper focusing on people that were trying to be consultants or investment bankers, and I started looking at people that were going to, there were piano rooms at our school. I started following them on social media. I'm like, oh wow, he put out a song. How does he make a song? And then I started looking into recording software online, looking into Logic and Ableton. Fast forward, I'm back in LA now, back at home at my parents' house. I'm like, how, in the back of my head, how are they like putting it out on Spotify? You start learning about distribution sites. Then you start realizing, well, I'm pretty like oriented in making music and putting it out. So I guess I'm skipping a lot of details and I'm not the best storyteller, but what I'm saying now is I'm now in studio sessions for recording artists with very large followings, and I'm a nobody. But if I were to talk to my 18-year-old self, 19-year-old self, being like, hey, that one small decision that you thought was kind of scary, but you said fuck it, and you had a moment of courage to put yourself out there, yeah, that actually changed the course of your life. And now, it looks different than when you thought it would be, but you are working in the music industry. You are producing, you are working with artists that have huge international followings. I would be shocked. I wouldn't believe it. So I don't think that lesson goes away. I think you have to continue taking risks. I mean, don't go fucking insane, but risks in the sense of you have to do things that scare you. You have to push yourself out of your comfort zone continually, or you stagnate. I've stagnated a little bit in the last few years because I've been afraid, and you get comfortable in your routines in whatever you're doing. So it's important to continue getting out of your comfort zone, because that's where growth happens. And so I'm working with recording artists now. I'm feeling quite comfortable in our relationship, but I also recognize, like, dude, I'm broke. And I don't know where this is going to lead, but I'm learning, they're hyper-focused on content and how they portray themselves on social media and how they actually take it serious, like it's their business, showing up for their audiences and showing up for their fans. And interacting with them, because they're people at the end of the day. It's like a one-on-one interaction, like I'm talking to you right now. So I'm all over the place with this, okay? I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But your life can change. My life changed. I didn't think it would, but it did. It's going to be a long-ass day. I'm going to go help those artists with something that they need in their life right now, which is some help with the DMV. I have no idea where this relationship will go, but sometimes you help people out when they need help, and the investment in those relationships pays back tenfold in ways that you can't even imagine. I think investing in people and helping them out is probably the most important thing in life. So that's my story for the day. I'm gonna try and do this a little bit more often. Story time. But yeah, it's been a pleasure. I'll check in with you soon. Peace.